perfect timing or what was happening? I love that. Like, it's almost right at 7. We still got a minute to go. All right. It is 7 Central. 7 Central. Hello, everybody. We are thrilled that you are here tonight. We're so excited. We're here to provide value for you tonight, that you would walk away, whether you are excited about this opportunity or you just take something away. We want to offer you some things that we've learned along our journey through this Plexus world and growing in confidence and in growing in all different areas. And so we're thrilled to be here. So you're probably wondering, who's this crazy blonde chick just starting talking, okay? I'm also the DJ up in here tonight. My name is Alita Langford. I'm a Diamond Gold Ambassador with Plexus. And all that means is I really love Plexus. I started Plexus 6 years ago and fell in love with these products. I fell in love with the products. They changed my health completely. I went from being an exhausted mom to feeling, my phone keeps cutting out there, but I went from an exhausted mom to feeling absolutely my best. And so I started sharing these products. I started sharing from a place of just wanting my friends to feel as good as I did. When I was suddenly widowed with no life insurance, I had 4 small kids, found myself single mom suddenly, and had to provide. I built a 6-figure business in 18 months and was able to provide for my kids and not have to worry about a 9-to-5 job. And I am a 9-to-5 girl. Can I get an amen up in here if that's you? I saw my co-host Megan raise her hands. And I just wanted to have Megan really quickly share her story. Her and her husband, Phil, who you'll be hearing from here in just a little bit, are a Diamond Senior Gold household. And we're really excited to hear from them. So Megan, tell them a little bit about yourself real fast.
Hey everyone. So I am someone who never ever wanted to work. In fact, when Phil and I got married, I told him I am not cut out for the workforce, but I love Plexus and I love this job. So I am a stay-at-home mom of 3 crazy boys. All I ever wanted to be was a stay-at-home mom. And I get to do that now while also running a 6-figure business. And when we started this, we were initially skeptical of the products, okay, you guys, but we fell in love with them. They changed our lives, and we realized that we had to share. We had to tell everyone how amazing they could feel. And so we decided to go all in with Plexus because our family needed it. Our kids were on Medicaid, and our whole lives changed because of this. So on top of getting out of that tough financial situation, we were also able to pay off over $100,000 in student loan debt. And we reached the top of the company before my 30th birthday. And so the things that we're living right now that you'll hear about, I mean, were once just a vision on our dream board. And so now we've actually gotten to do those things because of Plexus. They taught us how to dream again.
I love that. Can we just talk about $100,000 in student loan debt and being able to stay at home? Megan has been on this journey with me for a few years, and she's like a little sister to me. It's absolutely that. So I'm also a mom of 7 kids and 9 months pregnant with number 8. So if I, start breathing funny, do not be alarmed. I'm just very pregnant, but absolutely excited about tonight. We want to straight off the bat let you know what is Plexus and what is this community. We are all about community. We are all about going out there and not annoying people, not messaging people and hounding our friends. We're about serving people where they're at. We want to bring health, like true health, non-GMO products to people. We want to bring it to the masses, people who maybe don't care about supplements, all the way down to people who are crazy homesteaders like I was and really, really want to know we don't do dyes. We don't do all of those things. This suits anybody from 2 to 90. And we want you to know that we are all inclusive and we absolutely love serving people where they're at. So I want you on here, if you've been in Plexus for a little bit, maybe to just drop a 1 in the comments if the community has meant something to you, and drop in there what it has meant to you. If you've seen that, I want you to hear from real people that are hopping on here that have had an experience with our community. Our community rallied around me when I was suddenly widowed. Our community has rallied around as we've each built a business, because in Plexus, you are never in business by yourself, but you're in business for yourself. And so it's a really incredible opportunity. And I want to talk to you about, what is social selling? What is e-commerce? What does that even mean? Social selling is where, well, you know how you're on Facebook, you probably saw this, you probably saw someone posting about this call, and you're like, what are they doing? What are they talking about? And so they reached out to you, or you reached out to them and said, hey, I want to hop on. That is social selling. It's basically being on social media. It's being on social media and being paid to be on social media, where we're sharing something like our favorite restaurant. I always call my friends, like, you've got to go to this place. You've got to check this restaurant out. It is amazing. Or I love this lipstick shade. You've got to try it. But instead of just sharing, I'm able to create an income that is a legacy business for my family. So I want to just let you know that now is the time. Now is the right place for our products, for you to be sharing them from a place of just service and love. And online business is just gold at your fingertips right now, as everyone's moving into online entrepreneurship. It is just a huge potential for us. And so we teach you, we have simple steps for all of these things, as you're about to hear as we go through more information. And so I want to turn it over to Megan Malakovic to just explain a little bit more about what kind of thoughts we need to have as we go into social selling and e-commerce business.
Okay, guys, so you might have heard some of those highlights from our stories and thought, how does someone who is widowed grow a successful business? How does a mom of 3 boys who has 0 work experience, how do they grow a successful business? How do you reach the top of the company before you're 30? How do you pay off $100,000 in student loan debt? Like, those are crazy stories that you hear, but this isn't, you don't actually know these people. You guys, we're real people. We're here, we're talking to you tonight, and we're going to tell you how we did that. So the thoughts that someone needs to have to be successful is that you have to be willing to try new things. Okay. If you want something different in your life, you have to be willing to do something different, or you're going to keep getting the same results over and over again. And so where we were in our lives is, I realized we needed a change. We needed to do something different. The way we were living was not working, and we dared to dream of more. And that is really a huge part of it. First, it starts with your mindset. You have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone. You have to be willing to try new things. You have to be willing to be coachable and determined. To this day, we have not had a single person on our team who has been coachable that we haven't been able to help be successful. And so we also want you guys to know, if you're coming into this and you're thinking, oh man, well, I don't have the skill set right now. And maybe that's a limiting belief that you have. Well, everything can be learned in this business. You don't have to know all of the answers right now. That's what we're here for. We're here to help coach you. We're here to help teach you. And if there's a skill set that you feel like you would really like to grow in and that would help your business, well, it can be learned, and we can give you the tools and resources that you need. And mindset is a really big part of this. I didn't understand before starting Plexus that we actually have the ability to rewire our brains. And maybe that's something new that you're learning tonight, but we have the ability to change that. We can create new grooves with positive thoughts. We do not want the negativity here. We are all about positivity. We are about encouraging each other. We are about lifting each other up. And it's why we run a mindset training Monday through Friday that anyone who joins our community can jump on, because we believe that is such a huge part of social selling, of an e-commerce business. Is we believe that you can do this, but you have to believe that you can do this. And so that's been one of the biggest things in our journey, is just constantly retraining our minds and saying, no, you know what? I can do this. My dreams are possible. And we will write affirmations and post-it notes all over the place to constantly be retraining our brains. And so really, you can make this whatever you want it to be. You can earn as little or as much as you want with Plexus. And so you really get to choose your own adventure with this. If you jump on here and you say, you know what? I really would just like to earn an extra $200 a month. I'd like to get my products covered for me and my family. Well, we have the steps that will tell you exactly how to do that. Or if you're hearing our stories and you say, you know what, I really want a legacy business. I want something that is going to continue on for generations to come. I want to have a six-figure business. I want to change the course of my family forever. I want to break generational curses. We are here to help you be able to do that. We have the steps lined up. We can teach you how to do all of that, but you get to decide. You get to decide how you want to start. You get to decide how you want to finish, and in between or anywhere in between. But we are here to meet you exactly where you're at. So, Lita, I want to ask you, why would somebody want to start now?
Somebody would most definitely want to start now because, of course, with all the pandemic going on, we know we need multiple streams of income. Our brains are literally wired to say, just wait, just hold off. Let's overthink it. Do we have any overthinkers on here? Okay. If you're like me, I was an overthinker. I thought about Plexus for 18 months before I jumped in. What I wish I would have done is jumped in immediately. Now is the time. I'm telling you, you might be thinking, I'll wait till summer breaks over and the kids are back in school, or I'll wait till homeschool's done and then I'll start. Or maybe you're just thinking, I just need to think about it a little longer. I want to challenge that thought. I want you to be thinking about why not now? Where will you be in 6 months from now if you just say yes? If you just jump in and take it from here? Where would you be in 5 years from now? I know that where I would be in 5 years compared to 6 years ago is I would not be sitting here feeling nervous talking to 115 people on a Zoom. Okay. I would be probably, farming and just working 3 to 4 jobs to make ends meet. And so I want to challenge you to, are you living your best life right here, right now? And really question yourself, am I living my dreams? Do I want to bring my spouse home? Is there something that I'm not achieving right now that I'd love to put my kids in extracurricular activities? I'd love to say yes to the summer camps. I would love to just say yes to opportunities more often. Then this is for you. This is your sign. This is your big, neon flashing lights to join now. I'm going to encourage you to just not wait. And what does that mean? It means going back to the person who invited you and asking all the questions that you have. And I have a feeling a lot of your questions are about to get answered right now as we interview our next guest. He is Megan's husband. His name is Phil Malakovic. He is an online social marketing guru. He runs a $60 million budget for one of the largest online universities. And he is just absolutely a boss. And nobody handles just straight shooting like this Philly boy. He's from Philly. That's so fun. I'm like, Phil from Philly. And so he's absolutely just a treasure. And we just love him and adore him. And I'm so thankful that he said yes to doing this tonight and taking his time away from all that he is busy doing. And so, Phil, I would love to just introduce you real fast. Can you say hi so I can see you?
Hello.
Hey, Phil. How are you?
For the record, I did not have a choice. My wife said, "You are doing this." And I said, okay. And if you know anything about me, I am introverted. And so even the introduction, makes me just, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
We're just going to go with it. And you know what I love about you so much is you're a straight shooter. You're like, hey, this is what we think. This is, these were my skeptical thoughts. This is what I was worried about. And so I'm just going to kind of get right to it. And we're going to see where it goes. But I want to know what you would say to somebody who is scared to start.
For someone who is scared to start, I would say to them, look at our story. Look at where we were. Look at what has become of my wife. You know, she is not the same woman that I married 8 years ago. You know, this business, not just the community, but the personal growth has made her more confident, more it has just changed her for the better. And so if someone is scared to start, I would just say, you know, let's start now, because the fear that you have is not, you know, the fears that we have in this business are not necessarily going to go away. What's going to build up is the courage to push through the fear and push through the things that might hold you back. You know, but there's also a quote that I love, Alita, and it says, you should be afraid of taking risk and pursuing something meaningful, but you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. And I love that quote because there's so many people who are in positions where they're just not happy. And I'm telling you, I would love, like Megan said earlier, there hasn't been a single person that we haven't been able to make successful if you're coachable. And so I I would love for you to just trust us.
Mhm. I love that. Yeah, just take a chance and
Yeah.
look at what happened when you took that chance. And so, as being someone who manages a massive budget for online marketing and such, what would you say to someone who says, like, kind of questions the validity of network marketing, MLM, Plexus as a whole, as a business? What would you say to them about the validity of the business?
You know, what's funny is I actually get made fun of at work sometimes for my wife's business, and they ask me how it's going. And my response to my vice president is a lot better than the cubicle scheme that we're working on, because we sure as heck aren't making the money. And I say all that because if you look at social selling, it's really where it is. Whether you own your own business and it's a tree business, you want referrals because that's how you're going to get it. That's really what the world is moving towards, is more referral based marketing, whether you're a storefront or an online e-commerce like we are. So the validity was not my concern. My concern was whether my wife could do it.
Okay, so let's follow up with that question. What was your concern of, can Megan do this? Because I think she did another something like this before, right?
So when we first got married, she bought $600 worth of makeup from a previous company that I had to move to 5 different houses. And then
That's the best.
she was in the middle of doing another company, and actually signed up for their convention and had the plane ticket and everything, and was like, you know what, Phil, I think I need to go to Plexus's convention. I'm like, okay, here we go again. Another thing she's going to jump to. And so, yeah, my concern was more, is she going to stick with it?
And what made the difference? What do you think made Megan stick with it?
I, I would say the biggest thing that helped her stick with it was just the community that you guys have created. You know, it's funny, in the other business, she would actually get on Plexus calls and learn from the training Plexus had, and then try to implement that training into the other business. And she was finally like, wait, why am I doing that? Why not just do where I'm getting all the training from? And you know, the other thing, I made her commit to me. I said, all right, I noticed a pattern. You have to commit to me that if you're going to do this, you know, you got to commit to me that you're going to do it for a year. That's, you know, I didn't even believe she was going to do that, but I at least got the words that she was. So that's a little bit easier.
Well, and I remember Megan came to convention. She came with me as she had 3 people had signed up. One was her aunt, one was you.
Yeah.
It was very much like my story. I started with 3 people. 2 of them are my good friends. One of them was my husband. It was like hilarious. And so she made a commitment. I remember that convention, to go emerald in a year, which is kind of it's a jewel status. It's when you start earning 6 figures. It's the Lexus. It's a trip to Hawaii. It's all the fun things. And you guys accomplished that because you worked a lot together. You guys accomplished that within 11 months of going silver, of kind of hitting that first 3 mark. And so obviously that was amazing. And so a lot of questions that we get is, what if my spouse isn't supportive? Like, what if I want to do this and they're not supportive? What would you say to them?
I think in the beginning, because we've been doing this for 4 years now, a lot of people don't realize that in the beginning, I didn't think she could do this. I wasn't 100% behind what this was. Again, I'm a very private person. So the fact that, anyone can know what's going on in our life. I was at soccer the other day, Alita, and a lady goes, "Oh, how is Texas?" Because I know you were there. Like, if anyone knows me, I'm like, "Oh, like, how do you know what's going on in my life?" But so I wasn't necessarily, comfortable with that. And so the thing I said very early on to Megan, and I committed to myself, was I wasn't going to be the reason why she failed. So yes, I didn't know if my wife could do this. I didn't think she could, but I made a commitment that I wasn't going to make like backhanded statements or things to help her, lead into maybe you should quit because you're not growing as fast as you want, or this person stopped doing it, so maybe this isn't for you. And when those moments came, I made a choice to say, you committed to me for a year, you're going to keep going. And so I think that's the difference is, I wouldn't say in the beginning I was very supportive. It just, I made a commitment to myself saying, I'm not going to be the reason why she fails. And that's what I would say is, if you don't have a family member or a spouse that's not supportive, I would just ask them to say, don't be the reason why I fail.
I love that. Don't be the reason I fail. And I love that you even talked about resistance will come. This doesn't come at just no cost of really, just never having any kind of resistance or any kind of fear. It's just continuing in spite of it. And not that you have to have a certain skill set. I think that's the other thing is people think, well, I need to be a great poster. I need to have a ton of followers, or I need to be this really outgoing person who's willing to hop on a Zoom like this and do this. What would you say to that?
I think we often fear that we have to achieve something great like that, we have to become something new or abandon everything that we were, because how else are we going to get there? But in fact, that's not how it works, and that's not how Megan did what she did. She got to where she was because she changed little habits, at a time. And so she changed little behaviors where we no longer, have certain things that we enjoyed back then because we no longer do it. Like Netflix, for example, we don't have a Netflix membership. We used to binge Netflix at night. Now, I'm not saying you have to give up Netflix tonight. I'm not saying that, don't take that from what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's little habits that you are going to eventually change. And that's how you're going to get to the point where you can have a successful business. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's through repetition and consistency that you are going to be able to achieve your results and change the identity of who you are.
I love that. And so it's not abandoning everything that you are now. It's really about stepping into it and saying, I want something more for my family. I want something bigger. And when you feel that objection come up of, I don't have time, it's like, well, let's create a new habit where we are creating that time to have the repetition and consistency.
So let me just touch on that real quick, because again, I'm a very blunt person, right? And so if anyone says they don't have time, what you're really saying is you don't have value in what we're asking you to put time in. So everyone has the same 24 hours, right? It's no different. What's different is we are valuing certain things which are taking our time. So if someone says I don't have time, it's you don't see the value in investing time into that area. And I think that's the difference, is if you really break down what some of those excuses are, it's you don't see the value in it.
And what would you say to somebody who doesn't see the value in it? What is the value? What has Plexus meant to you?
That I could go on for hours about that one. Plexus has meant so much for me, because when we got married 8 years ago, we were struggling. I took a job, and that job went under new management. I was let go from a job very early on in our marriage, and so we were on Medicaid, and we could not afford a lot of things. And so Megan, of course, is coming to me, and she sold it, Alita, that, oh, we're supporting Alita, so that's why we're going to do it. And so she later told me just actually a few months ago that that was actually the way she got in the door. But what I'm trying to say there is Plexus means the world to us because it allowed us to start dreaming again. You know, when you're on Medicaid and you know you're supposed to be doing something greater and better than where you are, it is hard to dream about getting back to that place because you have $100,000 in student loan debt. You're living paycheck to paycheck and barely doing that at that. And Plexus has allowed us to dream as a family. It has allowed us to grow our kids up into an atmosphere of, you know, I love, you know, we listen to so much personal growth. I remember there's something my wife said one day, and my boys repeated what she was listening to and said, "Mommy, if you can think it, you can do it. So go do it, Mommy." And I'm like, oh my gosh, like how amazing is that? Is that we're raising our kids to have belief as well. And I think that it means everything to me because it has changed everything for us.
I love that. So I have two more questions for you before I let you off the hook. I want to get to the nitty gritty. Okay, how does somebody build a business? So let's say they're like, okay, Phil, you know, you've answered all my questions. You know, the person that has brought them here, they've answered their questions as far as like, you know, all the little details, but they're wondering how do I start a business? So what do you tell them when you're thinking, how do you build this business? What does that look like?
You know, I remember when she went to convention and we only had 3 people on our team. I was her third. And I remember she came home and she's like, we're going to go Emerald in a year. And then I think what happened is reality started sitting in because I'm a numbers person. So I ran the numbers. I'm like, all right, you're going to need this many people. And she goes, how are we going to do that? And I remember telling her that moment, and it's kind of been our mantra throughout our entire business, is I said to her, how we're going to get to Emerald is one person at a time. And so if you focus on that next person that's in front of you and say, I'm going to help them. I'm not thinking about Emerald. I'm thinking about how can I help you? How can I get you to achieve the results that you need? Because if that's going to happen, they're going to be happy and they're going to stay with and most likely give you a referral. And so if you focus on that next person in front of you, that's how you're going to grow.
I love that. I have nothing else to even add to that because I'm like, that is the truth. When you start, listen, you start scared. You start like, I had no idea what I was doing. Most of the time I still don't. Okay. It really is just deciding I want to serve you. I know my products can help you. I know that you're posting about having migraines. I see you posting about having depression and anxiety or diabetes or, you know, wanting to lose that extra weight or wanting that extra energy. And I've got the solution for your problem. Let me help you. And then when they fall in love with it, they start sharing and you really organically can grow a really strong residual income and a strong business. And so helping one person at a time, I just absolutely love that thought. Okay. The last question is, what if we don't have money?
So I think
to join.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what we talked about earlier, right? Where you know, most people do have the money, they're just prioritizing other things. And I'm sorry to be that blunt, but again, we were on Medicaid. Our kids were on food stamps. And we decided to sacrifice because we wanted to bless you and your family, Alita. Little did we know that sacrifice was actually going to bless our family immensely because the products started to really change our lives and we decided to do the business. And so it goes back to the value, right? Where, okay, you know, Plexus has a saying, what if this could change everything? And I just want to pose that, you know, like you're telling me you have not wasted that money a month before?
Yes.
Okay. So, you know, if you are truly saying you don't have enough money, then there's other options we could even do. where you could actually run a party before you even join, get people that are interested. So as soon as you're ready to go, that you are signing people up along with you. And so there's options, and I guess it goes back to this. There's always going to be an excuse. There's always going to be something that you can say that's either going to hold you back or stop you. And so the question that I would pose back to that person is, money really the issue, or are you just using that as an out?
Mhm.
Because you can always find something wrong. I'm asking you to find something right.
I love that. I'm asking you to find something right, looking for the positive, looking for what could this actually provide for us. And I would even go back to the question of, where will you be in 6 months if you don't choose now, if you don't choose the here and the now? And so if you have a question on here and you're on here, I'm going to turn it over to Megan to see if she has any more questions for him. But I want you to post them in the comments, and we will either get to them tonight, or we will make a separate video and be able to send those to you. I also want you to throw your email in if you've never tried Plexus and you'd be curious in knowing a little bit more, or getting a freebie thing that we can send out on goal setting that Megan has created, and on fear stories. And so there's lots of good things that we can email you and send you and keep you in the loop of what we're doing. I just want to open it back up to Megan to see, before we sign off and turn this off, if there's anything that you have that you'd like to ask him.
Okay, so I was looking in the chat and I don't see anything else in there, but what would you say are like the 3 things that you need to be successful at this?
So the 3 things to be successful, I would say, would be the number one thing, you have to be coachable. You have to be willing, it goes back to something Alita was saying earlier, that she's been doing this for so long. We have 4 years worth of mistakes. So my goal is, how can I help you avoid the mistakes we've made? But this is the other thing I tell people, is we have 4 years worth of mistakes, but look where we are. So you can't be afraid of making mistakes. So what if I can jumpstart your success, help you avoid the things that we did very early on that we realize were mistakes now? So help you avoid them, but you're still going to make mistakes, but you can't be afraid of failure. One of my favorite videos is a video of Les Brown. And one of the things he says all the time is, if you get knocked down on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And I love that, because you are going to experience setbacks. But what area of life do you not? Right? And so you have an option to keep going. And so number 1 is being coachable. Number 2, I would say, is when you get started, you have to have every person on your team do a shout out post. And so that is the number 1 thing that's going to help build your business. And you're going to get people that are going to say, no, they don't want to do the business. And you just say, great, I'm not asking you to do it. I'm asking you to help my business. And the third thing that I would say to be successful is to really be willing to go outside of your comfort zone. This, just so you all know, this freaks me out to do this. I think I'm handling it pretty good. But like, I think my heart's like going like 150 beats per minute right now, because this is completely uncomfortable. But at the same time, I know there's so many people out there suffering in silence that I would not be able to, I could not handle it if, because of my being uncomfortable, that someone's life was not touched because I wasn't willing to talk. And so, think of how many people that that are suffering in silence, or you may not even know they're suffering, but could really use these products because they do work. And we have an opportunity to help people and also earn a little something to do it, which I think is absolutely amazing. I say all the time, there's 3 people that need Plexus. There's people that need Plexus for the products. There's people that need Plexus for the finances. And there's people that need Plexus for the community. And what I love about this team is this team offers all 3. We can get you the products to start feeling your best. If you want to earn an income, we can help you with that. And we have an amazing community that is going to help you, grow with you, and push you to be the best that you can be.
I love that. Phil, I wish we could all just unmute right now. Just throw some love for Phil in the chat for being willing to come on here and just share the truth bombs of like, okay, what is this business? How do you do it? What is up? And I want to end tonight. Actually, I'm going to put Megan on the spot for just a brief second. She loves when I do this. I was going to put her on the spot, and I just wanted to say a big thank you to you and Phil for hopping on and doing this. But Megan, I just want to know, what is one of your favorite things about Plexus? What do you love about Plexus?
So I would say one of my favorite things, and the thing that I was expecting like that I wasn't expecting when I started, is the community that we have. You know, as a mom, sometimes it's really easy to become isolated. And we just pull back. I mean, even just think about the time that we have experienced over the last year. It can be really easy to just pull back, to feel isolated. And in this community, I don't ever feel like that. I have met some of my very best friends because of Plexus, who I love dearly. And so there's always someone here to encourage you, to lift you up, who's going to be real and honest with you and just be there to support you through the good times, through the hard times. And so that's honestly what I love the most. While the income is amazing and has dramatically changed the course of our family forever, I wouldn't trade the community for anything.
Alita, can I just say one thing? I'm so sorry. Because I want to go touch on, add a little bit to what Megan was saying. And part of it is, if anyone has ever been in the corporate world, they know that there's a lot of people that are going to backstab you or try to undermine you to get ahead in the workplace. And one of the things that I love, because it goes into the community, is that we are 100% invested into your success. Because when you succeed, we succeed. So like, I literally want you to be better than me. I want you to have a better business than ours, because if you do, then that just means we're benefiting from that as well. So I think that is the difference in the atmosphere in the community that we have, is that we are literally 100% invested in every one of your successes.
Yes, and I love that. I just saw Jen Jones put in the comments. She goes, "Together we rise," and it's so true. Together we rise up. So whether you're on here and you're thinking, I would love to just go with the mission of the team, which is I don't want to pay for my products and I want to help my friends. I want to grab 3 friends. And right now you can earn $400 US for referring 3 friends. Or whether you're thinking, I want to earn $20,000, $30,000 a month or more, 80,000 a month, whatever that looks like for you. I want you to know, get with the person who invited you. There is an amazing, immense opportunity at your fingertips right here, right now, to build something so special and create a movement of people who are willing to change their communities. We're open in Canada. We're open in Mexico, Australia, New Zealand. We have international opportunity here as well. And it has been such a gift to so many of us on here. We thank you so much for coming tonight. And if you're wondering, well, what do I do now? What do I do next? You're going to go to the person who invited you. You're going to be like, Sally, Allie, what's up? Thank you so much for plugging me in here. And I want to say, yes, I want to link arms with you. Show me what to do. And we're going to plug you in. And like Megan said, we've got Monday through Friday availability, free mindset training that is just really top-notch training. That's going to be free access to you. Lots of good resources. And we're just thrilled that you hopped on tonight. Thank you so much to my co-host, Megan, and to our interviewee, Phil Malakovic, for hopping on. And I just absolutely love this evening with you guys. Thank you so much. Be blessed, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, y'all.